Okay, Don Appleby here. We're having another rough day here in Florida. As winter comes, you know, it gets so cold. It's a tough life for us here in Florida. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about a little bit about Mamdani. What is his name up there in New York City? He is providing us tons and tons and tons of people down here in Florida. I don't know if I want to thank him or kind of get mad at him for the traffic, because we see all the cars from New York City and nobody will turn right on a red. You know it's a New York driver when they won't turn right on a red. Please, if you come from New York, you're welcome here, but for God's sakes, you can turn right on a red unless there's a sign that says no right on red or no right if pedestrians are present. Okay, otherwise it's legal to turn right on a red in the state of Florida. So please, if there's no one around, you can turn right. Just do that. You're killing us here in Florida. We're not quite like New York where they're going to attack you for turning right on a red. So please, for the love of all, turn right. Okay, so I got that out of my way. It looks like Mamdani is just turning out just to be just another Democrat that just took advantage of the useful idiots just to get him into office, and seemed to work pretty good. And apparently he's going to work with Trump, and he's going to do it by telling all of his Zers, all the whoever they are that are all the communists. He's going to just sit there and say Trump's evil, Trump's a fascist, and then he's going to work with Trump and maybe get what he wants done and still get the federal money that he wants, and he'll put all his people in place and get rid of maybe some of all the bad people that are in New York, because obviously New York is pretty crappy now because it's being run like crap anyways. I don't even think a communist can make it any worse. So I'm kind of neutral on whether or not, I don't know why the Republicans or MAGA cares what happens. I think it's great. I think it's been the best thing ever. I think it's fantastic. You put somebody like him into office. I think it's great. What really sucks for Republicans is when someone like him goes into office when a Republican had been in there for 10 years and everything's good. All the roads are good. They have a balance of extra money and cash. And finally the systems are running great. And then you got somebody like him comes in and they take all that money and hand it out to all their voters. And then they start buying all the voters, and they can do that for the next 8 to 10 years because there's all that extra money, and they can bleed all the extra money. They can start screwing up the services. They can start hiring people. They can put a whole bunch of voters, and then pretty soon turn it into a permanent Democrat state. So that's the problem, you know. That's when you don't want somebody there. Like if somebody rolls into, you know, Florida and takes over the government, they're going to be happy because there's plenty of money that could be zapped out of here because he's been running it fairly well. There's not huge debts. Everything's going pretty good. There's a lot of places they can steal and embezzle money out of the system. But in New York, man, they've bled that thing dry. Believe me, those guys that have been in there before, they have squeezed every single penny out of every road, every bridge. Every single bridge has gone, 15 years past its life. They've duct taped that. There's not a bridge, not a road that's duct taped, glued together, patched together with Band-Aids. So that whole place is just ready to fall. It's just they're one day away from a bridge collapsing and 30, 40, 400 people being killed. It's just a matter of time. I mean, have you ever driven through these cities? Get out one day. Go look at the bottom of a bridge. Go look up. You'll see patches. If you're lucky, you'll see patches. You'll see beams that are literally half gone from rust. It is scary because I'm a maintenance dude before I got hit by a drunk driver and ruined me. But it was, there's rusted beams. There's just the support structures. The whole roads move up and down with there's supposed to be some movement, but not from rust, not from missing parts. Bolts are broken, they're missing, and it's unbelievable. It's just, I don't know if you remember in Minnesota where that bridge collapsed, that kind of stuff. That's going to happen. It's not happening because it's just a rare occurrence. It happens because they take all the money from maintenance and give it to their people that put them in office. That's the only place they can steal money from. It's easy to steal it from maintenance and repairs, roads, bridges. That's easy money. If something is supposed to be inspected every year, you change it every 2 years. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars you give to your buddies. Nobody sees it. Nobody cares. except when it finally breaks, and then they look back and then they say, oh my goodness, this low maintenance guy changed it, and they blame some poor guy that, you know, had no say. He was told by his boss to change it. He didn't get the money. The people that changed the paperwork didn't get the money. They were just told to do it, and so they had to do it. Or if they don't do it, a new guy did it, and he signs the paperwork, and then, you know, that guy just quits or whatever, you know. He's an hourly wage employee. What does he care? So the whole New York thing I think is great. Florida, we'll welcome all the New York people as long as they don't come down here and say, well, Democrats will fix it. Just like Democrats, they're going to help out the black people. They're going to help them out. You know, they caused slavery. They literally own the slave plantations. The Democrats, they made the KKK. Yeah, they're the ones that they're going to help black people. They're the ones. You keep voting for them. Let me know how that works out for you. Obama, how did he help them out? He's a good Democrat. He's going to help them out. He's on your side, guys. Even Trump got he only got 20% of the black vote. They all still voted for Biden. Could you imagine? I'd be embarrassed if I was a black man in today's society voting for Biden over Trump. Trump has been loved. They all loved him until he said, I'm going to run as a Republican. And those words made him go from loving him to hating him. But yet his policy stayed the same. He's always been the same dude. He's never changed. And how do you let media change who you are as a human? How does your moral standard and code change so much because a TV or a screen on a computer tells you to? Trump didn't change. Trump is the same policies. He's been a consistent dude since he's been talking about his politics for 40 years. He's never changed. He's talked about everything he's doing now. He's talked about over and over that if he was in politics, he would do this. Clinton loved it. All the people loved it. You loved him. Everybody loved him. Love, until all of a sudden they hate him. And I'll tell you why. If you don't know why, if you ever wondered, if you're just not understanding why they hate Donald Trump, why do the established class it's very simple. I mean, it's so simple. It just boggles your mind. Why do they hate Donald Trump so much? Why do both Republicans and Democrats hate Donald Trump so much? And I'll tell you why. They don't have enough blackmail against Donald Trump to control him. So they have no idea what he will do. They don't know if they will sink the Democrats. They don't know if he'll sink the Republicans. Donald Trump could bury a Republican just as easy as he could bury a Democrat if they're child abusers. He doesn't care. He will not tolerate it. And that's why they try to put the Epstein thing on him. That's why he turned the whole tables. He got Republicans and Democrats to say, yes, turn it over. So now he's turned it over. Now they can't say, well, why are you wasting your time on it? You guys wanted it. So now he can unleash his DOJ and he can go after him. He knows he didn't do it. If y'all know history, Donald Trump was the only person to testify against Epstein way back in the day. The moment Donald Trump learned that, like 40 years ago, 30-some years ago, he learned Donald Trump was a bad dude. The moment he learned that, he banned him from all of his properties. He stopped dealing with them, and he testified in court against him what information he knew immediately. It was simple, and he never dealt with Epstein again. Everybody knows it. It's just the media tries to make you takes pictures and all this and tries to imply that these pictures, because he takes pictures with people, that he's some buddy with them. No, he's not a buddy with them. He took pictures with everybody. I mean, that's just who Trump is. He's a politician, and he paid people on both sides of the aisle. He paid Democrats and Republicans because he had to build buildings. If you don't grease the pockets of politicians, you don't get things built in New York City. Go try to build something in New York City and tell me that he's a failed person. I challenge anybody to try to build a hotel in New York City and tell me that he's just a failed businessman. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's an idiot. Go build me a hotel in New York City. Tell me how terrible, how easy it is. You guys sound like morons when you say, or he's filed bankruptcy, so he's a moron. He can't run a business. Files bankruptcy to protect his money, like a smart person should. He doesn't pay taxes because they allow it. Why pay taxes if you don't have to? He pays a ton of taxes like all rich people do. They do pay a ton of taxes, but sure, they get away with a bunch of shit because they allow it. That's why we just need a federal sales tax. That way the rich people would pay sales tax on everything they own. If they go and buy a Ferrari, they pay sales tax. They don't write it off as a business expense. It's so simply solved, it's crazy. But people don't want to do that. Like if they rent a private jet and they pay $10,000 an hour, they write off $10,000 an hour. They pay nothing. If you did it my way, you paid $10,000 an hour, you would pay $9 or 9% would be a sales tax for the federal government off of that $10,000. No deductions, no nothing. Just 9% sales tax off of all these except for food and your one home. You couldn't charge sales tax. And that would cover, that would nail that. All rich people would get nailed to the wall. They could no longer do all these tax loopholes. There would be no tax loophole. You want to drive in limousines and helicopter rides and all of those expenses. When the helicopter spends $10,000 for gas, 9% federal tax. Poof. You buy a new helicopter, you buy a boat, you don't write it off as a business expense and no, it takes away more money. No, you actually pay 9%. You rent it, you lease it, you pay 9%. It's so simple. So all these rich people that you keep saying, they don't pay income, people. You can't charge income tax on rich people. You can only charge income tax on the little people, the useful idiots that actually make income. All of the rich people don't make income. They take loans against their stock options. Then they pay back those loans with other loans. So they're always in debt to themselves with loans. They're always in loans and they're always leasing and everything they do is a business expense. Their multi-million-dollar homes, their cars, their helicopters, their planes are all business expenses. So stop talking about raising the income taxes. Income taxes are only for the lowly little people. You sound like idiots when you say that. Raise income taxes so the millionaires and billionaires are going to pay. They don't pay on income. My goodness. Yes, some CEOs do. CEOs pay, but they're only making 10 or 20 million a year, and that's small compared to the people we're talking about. You can gouge those guys pretty good, but a lot of those guys learn to get stock options and don't get. That's why they take smaller salaries now, and they get bonuses and stock options. So they're getting smart too, so they don't get their money in cash, so they don't pay the taxes. So same thing applies there. So they're starting to learn too. But, you got to get into the big money people, the big players, the 100 million plus players, the 50 million plus. You just got to learn that. But we just got too many dumb people, and the colleges are producing dumb people. I mean, I have a little bit of college, but I'm sorry, you just got to pay attention. I'm definitely not the smartest guy out there, but I can tell, I can see how things are pretty simply. And I'm wrong sometimes, but I learn from it. I talk to people, I learn. Every time I learn, I'm 50 plus years old here, and I learn every single day, man. It's great. And, Trump will be out of office in 3 years, and then it's going to be up to the people because it's going to go right back to the way it was. No matter if a Republican wins or it doesn't matter. It's going right back. The people will have the dirt on them. The deep state's still there. The CIA, if you noticed, not a single FBI agent's been terminated, not one that we know of, because they won't tell us. No CIA has been terminated that we know of. Personally, I think that we should have public hangings. I don't think we should have, I think this is treason what they did on January 6th. 250 FBI agents all going around trying to take away American civil rights. They literally broke in and then dragged Americans in and then arrested them after they did it. And that's ridiculous. What they did was wrong. And those people, is having a cop plant the bombs and then get promoted to CIA. That's ridiculous. In order to make it so there's no cops on the scene, she plants bombs to get them off of there to cause a riot, to cause the break-in, and then they unlocked the doors. All the electric doors were unlocked by them on the inside so people could come in and tour the facilities and then arrest them all for touring the facilities. That is illegal. That is taking away people's rights. That's not what they said it was. That was not trying to overthrow the government. That was ridiculous. And somebody needs to pay for these things. And Trump, if he doesn't follow up and do it, he's just like everybody else. Oh, we're just going to let him off this time. You think they're going to let you off when they get back into power? Nobody's going to be let off. They're going to come in and fix it for real this time. So if Trump doesn't fix it for real while he's in office and take out these treasonous people and make a big deal about it, the deep state's still there. All those people are still there, just hanging low, waiting until they get one of their corrupt people back in office, and poof, they're going to take care of it. They're going to take care of business just like they did right before, just like they did with Trump. They just go right ahead. They arrested the president over and over again, put him into jail, put him in prison. They were going to put him into prison forever. Nobody did anything. Half the country was good with it. The other half is like just whining. Not a single person did anything besides whine about it. So, all right. So we'll finish this up. Like I was saying, not a single person did anything. They all just whine on the internet, just like I'm whining on the internet. So I guess if whining is back in the day, I think patriots would have boiled oil, got some feathers, grabbed their politician and tarred and feathered them and had them run around in the streets. That's how they took care of their politicians. We don't have available tar. We're not making ropes in Boston and the harbor, but if we don't do anything, we can't. The whole country can't sit around and say, "Well, Trump will take care of it. Trump will fix it." No, he's one man. He can't. If the patriots and Americans won't step up and fix stuff themselves, especially in their local government, what is Trump supposed to do? Get involved in your local government. Get involved. Stop it at the local levels and then work your way up. If MAGA is so powerful and it's something you so believe in, why can't you get up? Why can't you go get involved? Get involved with your local people. Make sure there's no corruption at a local level. Make sure your mayors, make sure your police chiefs, make sure your people don't just support blue line. If there's a blue line flag, you got corruption. A blue line flag is not an American flag. A blue line flag is someone else, some corporation is running your police department. It's not American, because that is not an American flag. A blue line American representation of a flag is not an American flag. You want an American flag for a police department, not a blue line flag. That's a flag that's been destroyed. So just keep that in mind. Somebody owns that police department and it ain't American. So keep that in mind. You might think it is, and you're going to get mad at me for saying that, but I'm sorry. Our American flag is a red, white, and blue. We know exactly what it looks like. There's rules to the flag. You're not supposed to change the colors on the flag. Just keep that in mind. Go look up the rules on flags. If you think you can change the color of a flag and then proudly put that over the top of an American flag, see if those rules apply and show them to me, because put them in the comments when you say, oh, blue line flag means it just represents. No, it doesn't. We have one flag for America, American flag. That's it. We should all be backing America and America, the Constitution first. Our police should be enforcing and protecting the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. That includes the enemies within the police department. Anybody that would take away our constitutional rights and collude police to people themselves should be arrested. So keep that in mind. That's some of the things we're working on. I'm griping enough for once. Check me out, People News Today on YouTube, and thinking about maybe changing it, because I've been shadow banned and all this other crap on this name, so I don't know if I'm going to keep this one or move to a different one, because it's just I talked about COVID back in the day, and once you do that, they put so many blocks on you. I think I said something like COVID came from China or something, and they banned me, and I said that what did I say? I think I said something about the vaccine is not stopping the COVID virus, and then they banned me for that, saying it was wrong. Of course, the vaccine stops immediately. Once you have it, you never get it again. So yeah. Anyway, how dare I tell the truth? So that's Don Appleby here at People News Today, and my second video out there. We'll keep talking, keep whining, and hopefully the world will see us, and hopefully people will smarten up and understand the most basic of things. We'll see you again. Bye.